Hello everybody, welcome back for another live stream. We're back again, and let me tell you, we've got lots to talk about tonight. So I'm not going to say it's strictly going to be an hour, but we're going to get through each step. So I'll take you through the running order now, of course. We're going to react to the news of Josh Koroma and Josh Ruffels signing new contract extensions first, and then obviously we will move on to speak about our new sporting director being appointed as well this week. Look at day one of pre-season yesterday. Obviously the pictures were out, wasn't there? Obviously great to see the lads back. Obviously a bit of transfer talk, and also obviously squad numbers as well have just been announced, so we'll cover that as well. And looking forward to speaking, sharing my thoughts on that. Obviously everybody in the chat, let me know your thoughts too, of course, as we go along. I love to hear from you as well. We're going to say a few hellos first before we get going. Ori says, big up Ryan, make sure to smash the likes and subscribe if you're new. Road to 400 subs. Thank you very much, bro, for that. I really appreciate you. I do, and always here supporting the channel. I really appreciate that, George is in, big up Ryan, hope you're keeping well up the town. Big up to you. Steady away, I'm doing alright. Hope you're doing well, but thank you for showing your support as always. Get the likes up, people. Loris says again, like I say, I just appreciate everybody that comes into these streams, really. Likes are just a number, but I appreciate you trying to get me more likes. That's really kind. Aiden's in, hello there. I'm not doing so bad. I hope you're okay as well. And Aiden, you're always here. you're always here as well, so thank you for that. And subscribe if you're new, Aaron says as well. If you want to do, you can. Obviously getting close to 400 now. Obviously, I think I dropped a subscriber today for some reason. But he's one of those subscribers again. Are just numbers. I'm just grateful for people coming back and showing the support really for the channel. But obviously we're going to get into it now. So obviously Josh Koroma, the first thing news, Josh Koroma signed a new contract finally. Obviously we know how good form he showed at the back in the last season. Probably arguably the best we've seen in a town shirt. And obviously under Neil Warnock as well, who got the best out of him, as he did with many others. Obviously scoring the 3 vital goals, obviously scored under Warnock as we secured survival. Obviously Josh is 24. Obviously he's played over 200 games, senior games for his previous club later on for town, and very few loan spells as well. So he's quite experienced. Obviously we know what qualities he's got. Obviously very speedy and skillful wide player who kind of generally operates from the left side. Obviously he joined back finally. Like I said, obviously Neil Warnock did say his comments. He commented on it, so I'm going to read through these as well. He says, I'm delighted we've signed this new contract with Josh. Obviously ever since I arrived at the club, he's a player who's excited me, he says. He then goes on to say, I can see a different player now to the one that I set eyes on back in February when he came, of course. And he's hoping to see his full potential this season. And he also said that he thinks there's more goals in his game, and that's what we need. That's what we need. And for me, I think to keep him is the right call. I know in the past I've kind of had doubts about it and said, look, if you look at what he's produced in his 3 years of the contract that he got with the 3-year contract before, we've only really seen about 6 months of good kind of, good play from him, really, or more than good play. But you get what I'm saying. We haven't seen enough, so he needs to be more consistent for me. And you know, like I say, if you do it, you know, like I say, you know, for me, I'm not sure why it's taken so long to get this deal, because for me, the deal has clearly been on the table for a while now. Now, obviously, it's been stalling. You know, his agents or whatever have been stalling on it to see if he can get a better deal somewhere else as well. But I suppose that doesn't matter. Obviously, it's taken longer than we wanted it to, but it's done. It's done. And you know, for me, I don't know. I felt like Josh Koroma wasn't going to come back. You know, last week probably I felt like, I mean, obviously I saw that other clubs had been linked with him, so I was like, I don't know if he's going to sign. To be honest with you, but so it's happened. So that's great news for sure. And you know, like I say, I think he has warranted that new deal based on what we've seen. But like I say, we need, on a more regular basis now, we need a full season of Josh Koroma at his best, because you know we saw the transformation he made under Warnock, and if you can get a consistent full season this time, then it'll certainly be a massive asset for us in the season. Because for me, when he's on form, he's unplayable. He's absolutely unplayable when he's on form. So I'm sure one will get the best out of him again. If we can get that consistency, if we can get some more goals out of him as well, that would be, that'll be, and more assists, some more assists as well. If we can contribute a bit more as well. There's always room for improvement, I believe, and I know he was fantastic, towards the end of the season, but there's always room for improvement. So we need to see the consistency, like I said. But we're going to get into the comments, as there is quite a few here. Ian says, I honestly think Koroma is able to score double figures of goals next season. I mean, yeah, that's what we're hoping, aren't we? We're hoping that, because, like I said, we do want to see more goals from him, like I said, and more contributions over a longer period of time as well. So fingers crossed for that. Fingers crossed. Oris says Koroma is going to be special next season. I mean, we're hoping. Of course, I'm sure he's full of confidence as well now. Especially, obviously going, back. It's always good when you finish a season strong, isn't it? And I think you can take that momentum into this season now as well. Also knowing that obviously Warnock, if Warnock didn't come back, I don't know if he would have signed. Well, I kind of feel like it would have been more difficult. But anyway, there's no ifs about, obviously Warnock is here, so but yeah, hopefully, I really hope so. He's going to be special for sure. Alex is in. Hello there, Super Josh Koroma, indeed. It's JK time. Aiden says, I mean, we need. I do, like I love Josh Koroma, and I do hope he can really push on now and fulfill his potential. We know how good he is. He just needs to be consistent and needs to show. He needs to keep working hard and improving. And yeah, of course, this chant that you made, Oris, which I love. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it round at the Johnson Stadium in the new season. But yeah, love it. Yeah, we have got Super Josh Koroma indeed, and hopefully he can help us fulfill and succeed this season. But yeah, I really do love that challenge. But yeah, we're going to get back into the contract situation with Koroma. I think the fact it's only a 2-year contract is definitely the right call as well, by the way, because for me, you see far too many clubs giving out big contracts nowadays. There's just 4, 5, 6 year or even 8-year contracts to players, and for me, that's just too much. So, based on everything, I think Koroma having a 2-year deal is sensible. I think the club has stood firm. Maybe the delay was because of maybe Koroma and his agent wanted a longer deal. I don't know. We don't think we'll know about that. But you know, we've kind of stood firm as well. You know, stood firm in it and kind of said, you know, we are. This is what we're offering, and you know that is what you're going to have to accept. You know, so that's good news. The club have stayed firm on that. So onwards and upwards, like I said, Josh has to work out, like I said, make sure he's ready for the new season and really, you know, set the ground running from the beginning. I mean, one kind of particular thing that kind of I'm thinking this season is that if we can get both Koroma and Thomas performing to their best on both wings, then that is going to be absolutely lethal, isn't it? I think, and you know, kind of exciting. But obviously, we know we need to kind of, you know, have to see what happens. That, you know, it's all ifs at the moment. So, but I'm just kind of saying, if that was to happen, then that would be unbelievable. It's now Josh Ruffels I'm dreaming. I mean, where did that come from? I thought he left, but I'm so glad he's come back because it takes some stress off us. I mean, yeah, obviously we're getting to Josh Ruffels now, but yeah, I mean, Josh Ruffels. Now I have a few things to say about that. Really, I mean, obviously, I understand what you're saying, but for me, I'm going to get into my thoughts very soon. But yeah, Tom's and good evening with Ruffels, Ward, JK, new deals. Now let's get new signings in. I mean, absolutely, mate. I completely agree. Because you know, like I said, we still need new players to come through the door. So yeah, Josh Ruffels today obviously agrees a new contract again, another 2-year deal. Obviously, Ruffels has been with us a few years now. Obviously, 2 years he's been with us, and obviously joined from Oxford. Obviously, a left back, as we know. Obviously, made quite a number of appearances last season, mainly because of obviously Utah obviously being out with that bad injury that ruled him out. Obviously scored a couple of goals as well, you know, and you know, I think that it's one of those where he's kind of I think he had a slow start, didn't he? He had a slow start with us. Kind of grown into the role, obviously, and you know, get used to everything at the club. But I still feel like there's more to cut. There has to be more from Josh Ruffels as well. I want more. I'm always wanting more, but it's true. You know, Ruffels is great. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a solid squad player. That's what I kind of need. Yeah, he's a solid squad player for sure. But for me, he needs to work defensively, and obviously, you know, going forward, he does offer a bit, but yeah, again, just more across the board, really. Like I said, Neil Warnock said about this, the opportunity to re-sign Josh alongside both Josh Koroma and Danny Ward for me is no-brainer. Ruffels is a great professional, and his addition leaves me in a position where I'm happy with the squad right pre-season. But we know we need additions further up the pitch. That's the key thing that he said in this kind of quote there as well. He knows we need further additions, and we do. We do. I'm delighted to have Josh on board. He's been so reliable and has been since I've been here. He can play numerous positions for me as well, so that's good to have in our squad. I mean, yeah, obviously his versatility definitely helps. Obviously, I get into my thoughts about what I think about this signing as well. Well, this extension to the contract, sorry, should I say, not signing. For me, I can understand it to a certain point, but I want to give a more balanced view here because I think, you know, it's important to do so sometimes. One thing for sure, like I say, he is a solid squad player. I'll always say that. But the thing for me, though, is the depth we have in the area that he's strongest in is quite good. Obviously, we've got Utah, obviously, just coming back, obviously, from a serious injury, so it's good to see him back in training. as well. Headley, of course, one of our academy players, and Jackson, of course, as well. So I can't see him being ahead of any of those. So from that point of view, did we need to renew this deal? I mean, okay, it's good to have depth. I'm not saying we shouldn't, by the way. I'm just kind of trying to give a balanced argument. But like I say, he did very well under Warnock. But like I say, a lot of players did do very well under Warnock. Everybody kind of reacted in some way to Warnock coming, of course. That's how we was able to stay up. But yeah, I'm not kind of sure on this. I'm on the fence a bit with this. I mean, I'm not saying I'm really unhappy about it, but I'm just saying. Like I say, he's a great professional, but we're well stocked in the position, like I said, and a 2-year deal as well. I mean, for me, we probably could have been giving him a 12-month deal or something. But yeah, obviously, he's another player, but could we have used that to get another player in, maybe in another position we need? Maybe I don't know, but I'm on the fence. I'm happy he signed, but I'm also looking at it in another point of view, in the angle as well. But yeah, that's my kind of thoughts really. Oris says, Ryan, how important do you think Koroma will be for next season? Do you think he's capable of putting in consistent performances? I mean, just the first part of the question here. Do you think how important? I mean, if we can get the Josh Koroma that we saw in the remaining months of the season, then we have got such a huge player on our hands here, such a key, important player. So, yeah, if we can see that Koroma, absolutely, we've got a very important player. You know, he's going to be very, very important to us succeeding and you know, pushing up the table. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. I do believe that he will continue that momentum. But again, it's about consistency. Can he do it over a full season? So it's so difficult to kind of answer whether he will be able to do it for the full season because we haven't seen it at the club. So hopefully under Warnock he can. And the second part of the question, do you think he's capable of putting in consistent performances? I think he's certainly capable, and I'm sure that Warnock's one of those characters that will keep him on his toes. You know, he'll keep him on his toes. He'll always, you know, try and help him as much as he can. So I think he's certainly capable. There's no doubt, but he has to do it. You know, he can be capable all he wants, but he has to produce. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful he can put in them consistent performances. But time will tell with that, for sure. Oris says, need to get signs in before the start of the season. It's crucial to get players who are coming in straight away instead of for the future. I mean, absolutely, we need to start getting some signs in, and obviously, you know, we can't be. Yeah, like I said, we need to play for now because we've already got an exciting, you know, academy kind of a lot of exciting youngsters coming through. So that's our future to me. We don't need to be bringing other people for our future. We've already got players that are already pushing and already seeing glimpses of what they can do in the past 12 months. So for me, yeah, we have to be getting signings for now. There really is no excuses. So yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, so Ruffels, like I said, just to summarize, I'm not saying I'm really unhappy with it. I am happy with it, but I'm just kind of giving a balanced argument. Maybe I'm not being negative. I'm just saying how I see it, really. To be honest, and I think that Ruffels, you know, I can't see him being a starter. Like I said, I think there's other people ahead of him at the moment, but I just. Yeah, so I'm happy. I'm moderately happy, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we're gonna have to move on now because I'm just repeating myself. But yeah, Alright, says Ryan, who would you like to see coming? Any suggestions you have? We're gonna cover. I mean, we're gonna cover this at the end of the show. Now, I haven't actually got any. I've got one name, but I haven't got anybody else. And you know, it's one of those where I'm gonna save that for the end of the show. And like I said, I will summarize what we do need in the areas, but not specific players. But yeah, I will answer that question to some degree at the end, I promise. Aidan says, I think we'll be getting a striker soon because if you look close at the numbers, nobody has the number 9 shirt. I mean, we all know we need a striker, so we need to get it. We need to sort it. You know, we need to get somebody in. I don't know who the answer is. And this, like I said, I will get into the transfers though a bit later. But yeah, obviously we'll get into the squad numbers as well as an addition to the show. Like I say, it's only been announced, isn't it, about an hour or two ago. So we'll get into those as well, of course. So yeah. So we've got obviously the new sporting director appointment. Now, like I say, Mark Cartwright joins the club as sporting director. Like I say, Mark, just a bit of background about Mark. Obviously, he's worked in the highest levels in America, Stoke City and the FA. Like I say, he's kind of switching over. He's doing the same role as what he did over in the USL over there in America. And, you know, obviously he worked alongside, another key thing about he worked alongside, obviously, our chief executive, Jake Edwards, as well, in steering the organisation into a period of growth. Under Mark's guidance, USL clubs brought the league's outgoing transfer record on several occasions as the profile and quality of its players improved. Like I say, new owner Kevin Nagel's other football club, Sacramento Republic, worked under Edwards and Cartwright as a member club in the USL Championship. So there's all that connection there again. Obviously, Kevin Nagel's getting staff in that all know each other already, which, you know, is very, very useful and very good to see. And let's just put it this way: let's hope he's better than the predecessors that was in the role before. Not mentioning his name because I'm just not, but let's hope. Mind you, I don't think it can be any worse. Let's be real. But yeah, obviously, Mark has worked as an agent, mentorship for the Football Association, and in coaching on the back of playing for 10 years. 10 years for the likes of Brighton, Shrewsbury, Wrexham, Halifax Town, and obviously internationally at Wales under 21s. Obviously, Jake Edwards did comment on this. Obviously, he says, I've worked closely with Mark in our previous roles at the USL, and so I know an asset he will be to Huddersfield Town. He then goes on to say, although the sporting director role is a varied one, player recruitment and contract management are vital components of that. And Mark has a huge global network of contracts in the game that he can call upon. And he also says, however, Mark's skills at developing staff and creating an elite culture at the training ground will be hugely important in his other responsibilities, such as ensuring we have strong player pathways from the academy. And in managing other areas such as medical, sports science, and analysis. He also, the final quote he said is, his work alongside Neil Warnock has already begun, and I look forward to him building already solid foundations we have at the club. So, yeah, obviously, again, like I said, I don't really know much about him, to be honest with you. So again, it's just about seeing how he does. But I see positives in the appointment. Obviously, with the connections there, still, everybody, the staff that have come in already know each other. Like I said, so that's a big benefit. Like I said, so yeah, that is the final staff role that's to be filled. So we're all, the board are ready. The board are all done with the board. We've got a new board now. What I'm trying to say, so we don't need anybody else to come in. So that's really, really positive, and we can move forward with these members in charge. Hopefully, we can see some very good decisions in the future, and now, of course, in the coming weeks and months as well. But yeah, I mean, next topic, and I've got loads of topics. I'm actually going through this quite quickly, but I thought we had to mention this about Kevin Nagle obviously purchasing the Tom Wilson medal collection, which I thought was obviously a really nice touch. Obviously, these were the medals of one of our famous Thrice champions, Tom Wilson, now have pride of place in the club's archive after new owner Kevin Nagle won several lots in a recent memorabilia auction. Ahead of receiving final approvals for his takeover of the club, which came through in June, Mr. Nagle was successful in capitalising on a rare opportunity to take ownership of 4 medals from the same player in the successful team of the 1920s. Kevin participated in the auction held by sporting memorabilia specialist Graham Budd and placed significant bids to secure Tom's winners' medals from Town's 1922 FA Cup final and the famous Thrice champions medals from 1923-24, 1924-25 and 1925-26. He was also successful in securing Tom's single England cap from the 1927-28 campaign. Upon being successful, Mr. Nagle has immediately donated the 5 pieces of memorabilia to the club, which I thought was a really nice gesture and a really lovely touch. The medals join his teammate Billy Smith's collection at the John Smith Stadium. Now, Kevin did did say a few things about this. Kevin explained, celebrating Huddersfield Town's rich history is something that is very important to me, and I immediately understood how rare an opportunity it was to secure the full medal collection of a player from the Thrice champions team. So again, he's researched this so well and looked at our history and knows everything really. I'm delighted I could secure this collection and donate it to the club, particularly as we celebrate the centenary of the first of our 3 Division 1 title wins this season. It's a long-term goal for us to find a way to showcase the club's varied collection of memorabilia more easily to our terrific fans. And yeah, obviously Tom Wilson was one of our centre halves, if anybody doesn't know. And like I say, he played practically every game as we won back-to-back Division 1 titles from 1924 through to 1926, and continued to do so as the 30s approached. Obviously a Scotland international as well. His final appearance for Town was in the 1931-32 campaign. I love a bit of history, so you're having a bit of a history lesson as well in this history. But yeah, like I say, he's a very special player, and like I say, he's a Scotland international. His final appearance came in 1931-32 season, and yeah, I think for me, just my thoughts on it. I just want to give my thoughts on it. A really fantastic gesture by Kevin, it really is, and I think this just shows what kind of guy he is. He's really done his research, like I said, on the history of the club. And for me, I'm not getting carried away just yet, but all I'm going to say is what a brilliant start to his time as owner of the football club. I think he's doing all the right things. I mentioned this a lot, but the interaction with the fans is really, really fantastic to see, and means a lot to us. In the communication as well, he always makes sure he keeps us updated on everything that, well, not everything, but a lot of things he keeps us updated on. It's all very good. To me, he couldn't have done any more since coming in from how long he's had. So he's been brilliant. But yeah, we're going to get to the comments. Aidan says this is brilliant. It is, isn't it? It's a lovely gesture. It's nice to have the collection, at the John Smiths as well, in one of the cabinets there, for all to see. So yeah, really, really nice, really nice. Hello, good evening to you, and thank you for coming in. A new person to the channel, welcome. Do you think Kevin Nagle will be a good owner? I mean, like I said, the signs are very, very promising, and I've not seen a bad word about him, especially obviously his club in America as well, Sacramento Republic, his club there over there. He's very, very highly thought of. The signs are there that he's going to be a fantastic owner. Like I said, I don't want to get too carried away, but I do feel very optimistic about the future. The future feels exciting to me under Kevin, but we do have to see how it goes, of course. But so yeah, I think we can. You know, he will be a very good owner, and he's shown that early on that he's a very good owner because you can tell he knows. You know, he knows what he's doing, and he's making all the right decisions. And yeah, it's brilliant. So let's just see what happens for sure. But yeah, I hope I've answered you that question there, and thank you for asking me that. Ori says the way Kevin communicates with the fans is truly incredible. Kevin surely knows about the frustration for fans about signing, so he will take that in notice. I mean, like I say, yeah, you agree with me. Obviously, the communication is fantastic. You know, it really is. It's what all clubs should follow. Really, the communication has to be better at all clubs, really, if I'm honest with you, because communication is, as we know, is a lot lacky. It's very lacking at times. Well, it's a bit, mind you, never mind anybody else. It's been lacking with us for quite a while now. So, but yeah, communication is highly important, and it is very, very special and incredible, like you say. Yeah, I mean, Kevin. You know, Kevin's always listening to us on socials. I think we do have to be a bit. I think we need to just calm. Well, not me, but I mean, overall, the fan base need to calm down. I mean, tagging him in every tweet and things. I think you just need. You know, he doesn't mind listening. I'm sure he doesn't mind listening to suggestions, but it's just getting over the top for me. I think fans just need to stop tagging in every single post that they do, really, because it's just too much. But yeah, hopefully, well, like I say, Neil Warnock obviously will have communicated with Kevin, and Kevin will communicate with Neil. He'll know what we need, and hopefully we can sort things out. And yeah, so like I say, I'm sure he will listen to us. He'll take that surely in notice, absolutely. Cameron Wilkie, good evening to you. Thank you for coming. And the new person to the channel, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Good luck, town, from an Arsenal fan. Ooh, wow. Well, thank you very much. I don't know how you found my channel, but I appreciate you coming in anyway, and I appreciate the good luck message, of course. But yeah, welcome. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for dropping in. So yeah, let's get into the next topic. Obviously, we've covered the little donation that Kevin made for the club. Now we're going to move on to pre-season. Obviously, we did begin pre-season preparations yesterday, and of course, there's a fly flying around. So far, but anyway, obviously. Neil Warnock obviously back on the training pitch, something we never thought we'd see, but it's happened. Obviously with Bonnie Jackson, obviously with his new coaching staff as well, in Ian Bennett and Carl Serrant assisting for the first time. Like I say, the entire squad worked on their fitness on day one, getting plenty of running under their belts. It's been very, very horrible weather here the past few days. So they were doing it in very rainy conditions yesterday, which I'm sure was all good fun for the lads. But yeah, like I said, I think they've just released. Well, they have released an inside training thing on their YouTube, on the town YouTube. So of yesterday's day one. So obviously, I'll definitely go and check that out after this, probably for sure. Oris is 24 away from 400. Keep subscribing if you're new and smash those likes. Big thank you, Oris. Thank you. Always plugging the channel and helping me grow my channel and helping get the likes up. Just honestly, legend. Yeah, but thank you. And Adrian says Warnock is having an effect on the weather. I mean, yeah. Oh man, you do make me laugh, all of you in the chat. But yeah, it probably definitely is. But yeah, obviously we are a week away from our tour of Devon and Cornwall. It's the first of many tough sessions for the Terriers as Warnock and Jepson get them fit and firing ahead of that all-important first opening game against Plymouth away from home on the 5th of August, which of course is a Saturday, away from home, as I said. So we're going to go through a few pictures. I couldn't include every picture, but we're going to include a few pictures that obviously they posted yesterday on the gallery. And yeah, obviously, be good to get these up now in a minute. But yeah, let's just hang on a minute. Let's go through the comments. Jack Radoni kit number. I mean, yeah. What can I say? What can I say about the Star Boy? As I call him, the Star Boy. But yeah, we're gonna go for the kit numbers after this topic. So yeah, we'll go through that. But I'm delighted, of course, to see the squad numbers being announced. And yeah, I know that Ryan will be getting Radoni's shirt. Of course, I was waiting for the squad numbers, and obviously that now I know them, I can go and get my shirt with Radoni on the back, of course. But yeah, but yeah, that definitely. But yeah, we're going to get into some pictures now, obviously, of yesterday. So here we are. We've got the first picture of these sessions of Radoni and Utah. Of course, Utah back in training. It's fantastic to see. But again, the reoccurring theme of most of these pictures, the players are smiling. They're enjoying it, but they're also working hard. And that's what Warnock instilled in this group when he first came in, because it's important for the players to have a smile on their face to enjoy it. But they also need to recognise what's expected of them, which they know what's expected of them. And they also, have to work hard, that's what is required. So I just love this picture. Obviously, my Radoni, of course, my favourite. And Utah, obviously, great to see him back. Obviously, Nichols as well in goal, getting ready. Obviously, now he can get up to speed fully, can't he? Obviously, he did have a bit of he had a bad injury, didn't he? Last season, as we know, kind of played the last few games. But now, with pre-season underway, he can really get fit again. And he'll benefit from that for sure. Obviously, Kean Harrott as well there, one of our academy players, of course, who we did see a bit of. I expect to see more of Harrott this season. I'm not going to lie, I think you will see a bit more of him. And that goal against Watford that he scored, first touch from coming off the bench, what a goal. But yeah, big things to come from Harrott for sure. Obviously, we've got Radoni working hard. I mean, big up to Radoni, by the way, and I'm not just saying it is my favourite, but I've seen him on Instagram, obviously, working hard over the summer, making sure he's putting in the work. Obviously, he's been doing one-to-one sessions with somebody that obviously he knows that does coaching sessions. So he's putting in the work, and that is fantastic. I love to see that from players because it shows they're hungry. It shows that they want to improve. It's always going to keep improving. So Radoni, very, very good to see him working hard. And this season, get ready because Radoni is going to have one hell of a season. Mark my words. I'm truly confident of that. But yeah, we have got loads of pictures. I did say a few, but I've got loads because I love all of them. But we're going to just have a look at the comments again. Good to see the lads back for pre-season. Absolutely, yeah. It absolutely was. The hard work begins now. It already has begun, sorry. So we need to keep getting that fitness up. And so the tour next week will be highly beneficial for the lads as well. Especially in perfect surrounding. It's beautiful down in Cornwall and Devon. I don't know if anybody's been, but it's absolutely beautiful down there. I wish I could have been able to go, but yeah, obviously I can't, so it's one of those. But I would have loved to have gone. I really would. But yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, it's fantastic to see the lads back, and yeah, and this is where it feels like the final countdown to the season now begins here. Now the lads are back, and so yeah, um, one of those. Ain't nobody like Radon. Makes me happy. Makes me feel this way. Ooh, Ian, I like it. I like the chant for Radon. Yeah, well, there we are. That is. I love that. I love that chant. I'm gonna be singing it now. I'm gonna have it in my head now. But yeah, let's get into some more people. Of course, we have to have this one as well. The gaffer, of course, with his pen and notepad, doing his notes with his sunglasses on. And yeah, I don't know why he's got sunglasses on when it was raining, but you know. But yeah, I mean, this is a picture we never thought we would see, is it? We never thought the legend himself would be back at the club. It's just, it feels real. He's actually come back now for me. Now I've seen these pictures of it, and obviously, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, we are so grateful and we really do appreciate Neil coming back and going full time, especially at his age, and it just shows that he believes that he can do something this season with this squad, and he cares about this club, and it's just. What can I say? It's just fantastic to see him back, and we never, ever expected to see him back. If you would have said this at the back end of last season, he was adamant he wasn't staying, and now he's preparing the team for the new season. So things happen in football you don't necessarily expect. Let's put it that way. Obviously, Kasumu there working hard, as we can see. Matty Pearson there, Hoggy as well. Kamara in the picture as well. So for me, Kamara, Kamara, is he going to be coming back into the fold this season again? Because I know that, when Warnock came in, he didn't have any kind of look in Warnock's squad, but Warnock has said he will give everybody a chance, and will we maybe see more of him this season under Warnock? We'll just have to see. But yeah, like I say, it's one of those really where Yuta Nakayama is like a new signing, isn't it? Because obviously he's missed the majority of last season because of that serious injury. And Warnock obviously never got the chance to work with Nakayama either, so be interested to see how that partnership goes and develops between them. And yeah, but yeah, and then obviously Sorba Thomas. I mean, I'm gonna just kind of say things here, and I'm gonna just kind of be honest. Obviously, Sorba Thomas does return. Obviously, hopefully this time with his head in a better place. And I remember when Warnock was asked about Thomas when he came back, and he hinted that he would need to say a few words to Thomas. Especially after last season. Like I say, his attitude, his behaviour and things. So I think Warnock will probably have spoken to him before, or certainly before the training started, for sure. Because, as we know, Warnock won't stand for any of this nonsense. You either play for the badge or you don't play at all. It's as simple as that. And Sorba Thomas has to prove himself, because I've seen all this nonsense on Twitter yet about let's welcome him back, let's do that. I'm saying about Sorba Thomas, yeah. He's back at the club, yeah. I will support Sorba Thomas. I'm not all this nonsense about welcoming back. He needs to earn back. He needs to earn the trust again, because for me, he complete the way it was last season. For me, he just not acceptable. And it's not about being negative, and it's not about this. But Sorba Thomas has to produce what we know he can. You know, and you know, if you want can get the best out of him, then that is brilliant. But Sorba has to play for the you know, he has to play for the badge, because if he doesn't, he will have to go. So Sorba Thomas, you have to work hard. As long as you play for the badge, do your best, then I will support you. But if you don't, then that is where things will start to be questionable. And to be honest with you, if he doesn't, he won't be in the squad anyway, so I don't think we'll even get to that part. So Warnock, Sorba will know what is expected of him. He has to do it now. So it's over to him. And like I say, it's a second chance, and he has to really start performing, like I said. But yeah, let me just have a look. Would you like to see many of the first teams in the preseason, bro? I mean, I don't know, are you on about next week? Because obviously next week, we've got a couple of games next week within a few days with each other. Got 3 games over the space of 5 days. So we'll see a lot of rotation, we'll see a lot of players in action. So everybody will have their they'll have minutes to play. Then as we get close, obviously that's when you start to see, you know, maybe if you look at maybe the Stockport game, you know, the 22nd, and then the home game the week after. I think that's when we start to see, you know, maybe the team, how it's shaping, how it's looking, and more first team is, you know, playing the majority of the minutes. But it's very hard to kind of pre-season, because you need everybody to be up to speed and be ready. But obviously, as the season gets closer, you need the players that will be starting the opening game, which I'm sure Warnock will know. Well, he won't know exactly just yet, but in the next few weeks he'll start to he will know. He will know, because obviously he was with the club last season. But obviously he said he'd give everybody a chance. Also, there's a few areas that maybe will be changed up a bit, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, obviously the first teams will get plenty of minutes, and I think it's important, like I say, as the season gets closer, to give them players that will be seen as first teamers. I've lost my track of thought, but yeah, the first teamers obviously will get more minutes towards. Yeah, anyway, I hope I've answered that question for you. And HTFC OK says, what do you reckon about the number 9 shirt? We're going to get into this, because we are going to go into the squad numbers, but I think it's certainly very interesting, and hopefully that means that we will be getting a number 9, which we all know we need. We all know we need a number 9. It's not rocket science. We need a number 9 that will be able to play week in, week out. Knows where the back of the net is, and is prolific. And it's all right me saying all these things, because it's not easy to find a player like that. They're not easy to, because they cost money, as we know, and it just depends who's available. But yeah, obviously, I think it's very interesting, and I'm really, really hopeful and positive that means we will be getting a number 9 in very, very soon. But yeah, it's certainly, when the squad numbers went out, I thought, interesting, very interesting indeed. I reckon we might be looking at Lucas Zhao as he's number 9 in the free agents. I mean, yeah, potentially we could be potentially getting him in, but I'm not too sure about his goal record. Just remind me of that if you know, or if anybody can do, let me know. But I'm not sure what his goal ratio is like, Lucas Zhao. Maybe we can get that up. But the fact he's a free agent, I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but when you need to have a look. He was at Reading, wasn't he, last year? So Lucas Zhao. We're just going to quickly go on to the stats page that I look at for stats. Right, we've got, all right, hang on. 40-something goals in the last 4 seasons, but being injured. I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? If he's been injured for half of it, then I'm not sure we need a player that I'm not sure we want a player that's not going to be reliable, if you get me. I think, if he's had a lot of injury issues, that is a huge concern for me. But yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure about that then. Not sure about that potential player coming in. And the number 7 shirt, yeah, of course, number 7 shirt is vacant as well. He didn't want to resign the contract. It's still, sorry, I've flicked all over my notes here. Anyway, I'll go back to this one and then we'll go to the next one. It's still 10 goals a season average, which is still decent. I mean, I suppose so. I know what you're saying, but again, we need somebody that can maybe get more than that a season. If you look at Danny Ward probably averages around about that a season, more or less. And obviously, apart from when we was in that season before last, he probably is capable of around that tally. We need somebody that can get more for me. But yeah, interesting kind of name that you mentioned there. So we'll have to see how that develops for sure. Oris says some free agents are good, but I don't want to see Town spending some money on play. But I want to see Town spending some money on players in my team. Absolutely, you're spot on. You've took the words out of my mouth, Oris. Honestly, you have. Because that's what I was going to say. But yeah, we do. We have free transfers are all right to a degree, but we do have to be looking at. Players that do cost some money as well, because some free agents work, but we don't want to be just looking in the free transfer market, really. If you get me, So yeah, absolutely agree. That Dion Said guy from French League. I mean, I pinpointed him actually. So he's a guy that I mentioned that to you, Orest, if you remember. Yeah, because I showed you his stats. I remember. I'm sure you'll remember Orest, but yeah, this guy I potentially wouldn't mind seeing. And I'm going to try and get the stats up again because I've mentioned his name, like I say, on previous streams. So let me just have a look. Yeah, so obviously he's 21. Obviously he's a striker. Obviously, and his goal record. I'm trying to find the goal record, but again, I can't find it. Just when you need it. Yeah, here we are. Thank you for the stats. Thank you. I did have it, but I've lost it. So here we are. We've got 16 goal contributions in 36 games. I mean, that's not bad, is it? That really isn't bad. And of course, I do believe that this guy could potentially be the answer. And I know he hasn't played in Championship, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to be able to do it. We've seen players come over before and play very well and settle very nicely. And for me, this guy I certainly would like to see. 15 goals, 1 assist. Nice. Thank you for the stats. You're helping me out here. I appreciate this. But yeah, so like I say, Moyes, Saïd Dion, definitely a player that I would love to see as a potential player to come in as our number 9, hopefully. So yeah, but we're going to get into the squad numbers now, of course, because they were announced today, as we know. So plenty of changes to the squad numbers this time. Obviously, it starts at the very top with our 2022 Hargreaves Memorial Trophy Player of the Year in Lee Nichols. He is now the number 1. He's the number 1. The number 1 jersey. Fantastic. if you remember, he was questioned about whether he would like the number 1 prior to this. I think it was like maybe a season or 2 ago now. And he said, I'm happy with the I want it eventually, he said, but I'm happy to keep my number that I've got at the moment. But I do want to be the number 1. So obviously now he's the number 1. So that is fantastic. And it shows as well his commitment to the club. He's the number 1 now. He knows he's the number 1. And the fact that he's changed his number to number 1 means he will be staying with us. So I'm delighted about that. What do you reckon about the Callum Lang? I will answer that question. We will be going to the transfers very, very soon. So I'm going to answer that question after. I don't know how much more I've got. Yeah, we're going to go on to that after. That's the next topic, transfers. So I'll answer that question very, very soon. I promise. Aiden says Lee Nichols finally wears the number 1 shirt. I mean, yeah, what a moment. Absolutely, we know how. He's a legend, isn't he? He's a legend. We love him. He's one of the best championship goalkeepers. And people can call me biased or whatever, but for me, he is absolutely. We know how good he is. He's got it all for me. He's and I said he's the best keeper that I've seen play for us. Absolutely. So yeah, really, really happy for him to get the number 1. And yeah, obviously, it does make me smile, definitely. But yeah, obviously, the reigning player of the year as well, Mikael Helik, aka the brick walls, I call him. Absolute beast. Proper centre half. I love him. Obviously, he joined us in late August last season, as we know. Now takes the number 5 shirt, which obviously has been worn by some legends over the years, hasn't it? Obviously, the name that sticks in my mind is Peter Clark, who was a solid defender for us. In the League One days, brings back memories, of course. And Helik, he deserves it. He deserves to get that number 5. Another player that, yeah, I'm a big fan of, and he's going to be even better this season, if that's possible. To be fair, you know what you're going to get with Helik. He's just an absolute incredible defender, and yeah, we're gonna see even better stuff from him for sure. And yeah, no worries. I will answer that question at the end. I promise. Lee Nichols, England's number 1. All right, you are learning. You are learning what we sing at the John Smith Stadium. We do say that he is England's number 1. And so, listen, you know that's all I'm gonna say. I'm happy with Nichols' number 1 kit. Yeah, we kind of touched upon it, bro. Obviously, I'm absolutely delighted. He deserves it. Like I say, it's obviously he hasn't rushed to be the number 1. He hasn't rushed to have the number 1 kit because he was asked about it, like I said, a few seasons back. But he said, "I'm happy with my number at the moment, but I do want to be the number. I want to have the number 1 on my back at some point when the time feels right." And obviously, the time feels right now. So yeah, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely, like I say, it just shows the commitment and the loyalty he has. He will be staying at the club now. I'm pretty certain of that. There was a few speculation links, which I was a bit worried about, but then we've kind of gone away now, and he will be ours for the new season. But yeah, couldn't be happier. And of course, I've touched on it already, but obviously Jack Redone has moved up to the number 8 shirt now. Absolutely fantastic news. I'm so happy for Jack. I think he certainly deserved this as well. And honestly, it just feels to me that Redone, like I said earlier, is going to have such a fantastic season. For me, I do think he can get into double figures with the goals, in my opinion. And I think his contributions as well from the assists. I don't want to put too much pressure on Redone because obviously he's still, but obviously last season was his first season in the Championship. This is his second, so I feel like we'll see, Radoni at his best, especially under Warnock. We know how much. I just think that Radoni has been, again, another one that's been really, really helped by Warnock, and he's just helped him and made him more confident. And we saw that. We saw the confidence as we went along with Warnock in charge. He moves to number 8. Well done, and I'm delighted for him. Of course, I am. Rehmani Edmonds-Green takes the number 2, and also the very talented Brahima Diarra is being given the number 11 as well. So that's certainly interesting. He's moved up the pecking order, and he has been rewarded with that number 11 shirt there. I'd also take Josh Myers down if he wants to move back to England. Yeah, I saw that Josh Myers become available at I think Josh Madger. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he does want to move back to England. So again, I don't know if you've got any stats to hand there, but let me know if you do. It'd be good to have a look at those. See what he's done over the last year or so. That'd be good to see. And Aiden says, hang on, Orest changed teams, don't spot the United Terriers. Orest has become very fond of the Terriers. That's what I will say. So I think he quietly likes the club. Well, he doesn't quietly, because he does say that he likes the club, but he's very fond of the club. He loves the club. He wants us to do well. So he does like the Terriers in the Championship, so don't worry, Aiden. He's already been told about. I'm joking. No, but he does like the Terriers. But let's go on to the next part. So the latest to sign a new contract with the club, Josh Ruffels, takes the number 3 shirt. 2 players have asked to change to specific numbers. Sorba Thomas has now requested to be number 14. The number he wore at former club Boreham Wood, whilst Ollie Turton has asked to return to the number 20, which he wore in his debut season with the Terriers. Obviously Sorba Thomas gets number 14. He has a connection with that number because of Boreham Wood. That was his number at Boreham Wood. So that's understandable. Ollie Turton obviously wants to retain number 20. He did start with that shirt, as I said. So good news. Several B team graduates move up the list as well. Jaheim Headley, Tyrese Simpson, and Brody Spencer moving into the team numbers. So I'll just quickly run through the full squad list now as I see it. And we will get to the comments very soon, I promise you that. So, of course, I have mentioned a few of those, but we'll go through them in full. Lee Nichols, obviously number 1 now. Rehmani Edmonds-Green, number 2. Ruffels, number 3. Matty Pearson, number 4. Same there. Mikael Hellick, number 5. Hoggy, number 6, as always. Radoni, number 8. Koroma, number 10, the same as last time. Diarra, obviously a new number. Will Boyle, number 12. Sorba Thomas, 14, new number. Jaheim Headley, now 15. Tyrese Simpson, now 16. Brody Spencer, now 17. Kasumu keeps the same number 18. Jordan Rhodes, which I think is very interesting, has been moved to number 19. So does that mean he may be on his way out? Because obviously Rhodes had the number 9 last season, as we know. So for me, I don't know if we may not see Rhodes may be leaving. I don't know what to think about that, but obviously it's kind of almost like he's been demoted to number 19, really, doesn't it? From number 9, it's a bit of a I don't know what he must be feeling at the moment, but obviously a legend. There'll always be a legend at the club, Jordan Rhodes. The GOAT, as I call him. Will always be grateful for what he's helped us achieve over the years. And obviously he's one of the top goal scorers in history for the club as well. So, I thought that was interesting. Number 19 for Rhodes. Obviously, number 20 taken returns to number 20. Bila Kapic, our a goalkeeper, backup goalkeeper at the moment, number 21. Kean Harrop has number 22. Dwayne Holmes, number 23. Kamara takes number 24, same as last time. Danny Ward, 25, same as last time. Pat Jones, 26, I think that was the same as last time. Kyle Hudlin, 27. Scott Hyde, 28. Conor Mahoney, I don't know why he's still at the club. Nobody wants him, so he's going to be continuing until his contract runs out. But he takes number 29. Honestly, that is a signing that we shouldn't have made. We know that, and we're just stuck with him now because nobody wants him, so it is what it is. Ben Jackson, number 30, of course, very highly regarded, and I think this season again, he can really push on. Jacob Chapman, one of our younger goalkeepers as well, probably third choice at the moment. Yeah, third choice at the moment. Tom Lees, number 32, and of course, Yuta Nakayama, number 33. So that is the squad list in full. Like I say, really good to see some players being rewarded. But yeah, we're just going to have to see who else comes in now and takes some of the numbers that we mentioned. Like I say, like we said earlier, the number 7 and the number 9 shirt remain vacant. So to me, well, we're hoping anyway, that them are being left for obviously another midfielder and a striker, as we mentioned. So fingers crossed, we need to do that. You said, yeah, so we went through that. Josh Madger at Town, yeah, and you've got me some stats here as well, which is great. 16 goals, 6 assists in League Two. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to kind of disrespect League Two, because I think if you can score 16 goals and contribute with assists as well. But as we know, it is a massive jump up to the Championship. Now, wasn't Madger at a Championship club? His name rings a bell. Wasn't he at a Championship club before maybe he went to League Two? Because his name rings it. Wasn't he at Sunderland at one point? Maybe. I'm going to have a look. I'm sure he was. Maybe he has played at this level. Or was it? I think it might be Bolton that he was at. He has. Yeah, he's been at Sunderland. I'm right. He's been at Sunderland, and he has been at Fulham as a loan, and Stoke. So, and obviously he's of the French League. My fault. Yeah, okay, the French League. Fine. I've just seen that comment there. So yeah, so it's League Two of the. I thought you meant League Two in England, right? League Two of the French League. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know much about the French League. To be fair, I don't know what the standard is like in the French League. Well, I do. Obviously, the top league isn't that great, so intense competition. But anyway, we're diverting. But yeah, I mean, if Warnock maybe sees something in him, maybe we could potentially look to see if it is possible. So there are a few options to call upon. Yeah, he was at Stoke. Like I say, and he was at Fulham prior to that, and Sunderland. We came through the academy setup at Sunderland. So yeah. So there is options there. Now we're gonna get into. So we've mentioned the squad numbers, so we're gonna get into transfers then, and just kind of discuss everything now. So I am gonna go back to a question that you asked earlier. What do you reckon about Callum Lang? Now, again, I think he's a player that has quality for sure. So last season he really struggled. Obviously in a Wigan team that was struggling anyway. But prior season in League One, obviously he did manage to get 15 goals and 7 assists in 42 matches. playing for Wigan in League One. My concern is League One is such a good league as well, by the way, very competitive. But for me, at Championship level, it's a jump up, as we know. So, and he didn't do much last season, as I say. It was very, but again, we can't. I don't know if we can read too much into that because of how bad Wigan were as well, and he didn't really have much support around him. I'm not making an excuse for him, but he did play well in League One. So there is a player in there in Callum Lang. And he's shown that he can score goals and he can provide some assists as well. So I wouldn't be against it. I think I would, I actually wouldn't mind it, if I'm honest, at all, if he was to come in. But yeah, I would. I can see it. I think that I wouldn't mind. Maybe I would like him to come in. For sure. And we're going to go back on. So yeah, I have answered that question now. We're going to just go back to Aiden's comment, which I missed. Sorry about that, Aiden. John Rose, new number, and question a bit. A striker wearing number 19 doesn't look right to us. I mean, it doesn't, does it? It just feels like it's a bit, yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did move on, which would be a shame, but maybe it is the right decision, but we'll always remember him at this club. Like I say, he's a legend of the club and what he's done for the club. He's the GOAT, and we'll always be thankful for what he's done. A true legend for sure. French Championship, yeah. So I think again, it's hard, isn't it? It's really hard to know who potentially to go with, but yeah, he's a player that may, again, in Josh Madger, who may be able to do something for us. And yeah, Jerry Yates. Now, I have mentioned this in previous streams, and I've kind of said, or kind of felt like it's kind of unlikely to happen now because I think he's valued at around 2.5 million. Now, the thing is, we don't really know our transfer budget. I don't really think we'll be spending 2.5 million on one player. And then you've got to think about the wages. So, for me, I would love, by the way, I would love Jerry Yates. I think he's a quality player. What he did, with Blackpool last season in a struggling side is truly special, isn't it? It's truly good. It's fantastic. So, I would love him. And I did say that prior, but I just can't see it happening, unfortunately, because of our transfer budget. Even though I don't know the transfer budget, I'm kind of guessing that we wouldn't be able to spend that much money on one player alone. So, yeah, I would love it, but I don't think it'll happen, unfortunately. Callum Lang, I think he'll be used from the bench because we've got loads of wingers at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind him getting Lang, but I don't see the point, to be honest. Can Callum Lang play that? I thought Callum Lang's a striker. Thought he was a striker. But I kind of want to finish on this really about, we kind of touched on it earlier anyway, but for me, it's okay looking at the free transfer window, the players that are free, but like I said, we do need to be spending some money as well. We don't just want to be utilising the free market because you do get some good players that maybe just hasn't worked out other clubs, and that's fair enough. Usually there's a reason behind why they're free, and that's not disrespect, obviously, whether that's an injury issue or whether that's just obviously not they're not in the plans of the club that they've just left. So because they're not good enough, but yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Because some free transfers do work, and we've seen they have worked. But I don't want us to become over-reliant in the free window. And like I said, I do want us to spend some money as well. So, yeah, it's one of those. I mean, we know what we need. We need that prolific striker. So another midfielder. For me, I feel like we still need another right back, in my opinion. We need 3 or 4 players. I think we need 3 or 4 more players in for me. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, that is what I believe. We need. And obviously, as soon as we can get we need to make new signings. We need to make some new signings now because we've brought back players that have been at the club last season and prior, but we need to start getting some new players in now, and hopefully that'll happen in the next few weeks. We don't want it to be leaving it too late, as I said, but we're just going to have to see. But we know what we need. Warnock knows what we need. Kevin Nagel knows what we need. We just have to find the right players for us, and that's it really. Could Humboldt be coming back because the number 7 shirt isn't taken? I mean, you know me, Aidan. I would love for Humboldt to come back. Honestly, again, it's another sign that we had last season. I would love to see him come back. I would, because I feel like a full season under Humboldt, he would be fire. I'm telling you, he would be fire. But I don't necessarily know if that's going to be possible. I haven't given up yet, because I know that Humboldt. He said it himself. He loved the time. He loved his time at the club, and for me, if he was asked tomorrow to join back, I certainly think he would join back. But I don't know. I don't know if that is going to be possible. But it's an interesting thing you say. Obviously, number 7. If he wants to come back, number 7 shirt, Humboldt, that would be special. But yeah, obviously, I don't know. I've not given up, like I said, but I'm kind of feeling like it's unlikely. But that's what I said about Josh Koroma, but that happened as well. So, but for me, with Humboldt, it seems a bit different with this one. Obviously, he was a loan side, so he wasn't actually our player, but he was a loan player. So, yeah, of course, you know me. I would love to see him back, but I don't think so. I don't think he will. But hopefully, I'm proved wrong. But again, time will tell. Once the time will tell. But yeah, we've covered so much tonight. Honestly, I kind of feel like I'm at the end of the stream now. Any further questions before we leave, then I'm happy to kind of answer any. But I hope I've answered all your questions tonight, and I really appreciate everybody coming in. Honestly, you guys are amazing for continuing to come back and tune in and contribute to the channel and support the channel. Honestly, it means the world to me. Obviously. Without the likes of people that are behind the scenes as well, obviously, Orest keeps my channel going. Orest makes the channel what it is as well. Without Orest, honestly, I don't think the channel would still be going. He's always pushing me to do the best I can and believe in myself. So, but honestly, Orest, there's no words to describe how much that means to me. You know that. So I appreciate you so much. And yeah, but Orest is brilliant stream, bro. Big up, thanks, mate. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Humboldt to be back. I mean, yeah, we were just speaking about that. I mean, potentially, but like I said, I don't think it would happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But if he does come back, he should be given the number 7 shirt, like Aidan said earlier. So yeah, so we'll just have to see. I would love him back. You know me, honest. I would love him back. But it's just about if I feel like it will happen. And right now, I don't know if it will. I don't know. I don't think it will, unfortunately. Aidan says, brilliant stream, mate. As always, loved every single minute of it. Thank you, Aidan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. Don't forget to smash the likes. Brilliant stream as always, Ryan. Yeah, like I say, always plug in the channels, telling people to smash likes. I appreciate everything. I'm saying that a lot, but honestly, I don't even know what else to say. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, and I'm really glad about that. So yeah. But yeah, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. We've got through a lot. I hope you haven't lost my track of thought, because like I say, when there is quite a lot of topics like that, I can understand it can be quite hard to follow at times probably, but there has been a lot going on this week, and we've had a lot to discuss, so sometimes it happens, sometimes we only have a few topics to discuss, so it's just how the weeks fall, really. It just depends. In terms of next streams, I have no idea when the next stream will be. Keep an eye on my socials, and click the notification bell on this channel. You'll get a notification every time I go live. But also, as everybody knows, I do promote my live streams on my socials, which are going down at the bottom there, obviously on Instagram and Twitter, HTFTV8. So, yeah, obviously, go and give me a follow on those as well. That'd be great. But yeah, so I'm not sure, unless there's some more news over the next few days. It's kind of a quieter time into it this time of year. Obviously, pre-season just getting underway. Unless there's any transfer news or anything, there really isn't much to kind of say. We could kind of do some fan Q&As in the future as well. Just a Q&A stream where you can come on and ask questions, either in the chat or come on and speak to me as well if you wish. But maybe that's the scope to do that as well. But let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens this week and the rest of this week. See if we can get another signing. Hopefully a striker. Number one priority, a striker. Please, Kevin, please get us a striker. A very good one if possible. A proper centre forward would be nice, of course. But yeah, so keep an eye on that. We will be back very soon, I'm sure of that. But yeah, whatever you get up to this evening, have a good one. And as always, up the town, Neil One, it's Barmy. Thank you all for coming in as well. I honestly appreciate you coming in and sharing your thoughts with me tonight. But yeah, until next time, yeah, good night.